Okay, so problem number 6 on the arithmetic and geometric sequences handout is going to be solved for you next. The first thing you're supposed to figure out is if the explicit formula is arithmetic, geometric, or neither. So I want to draw your attention to the formula for an arithmetic sequence. I suspect by looking at the formula with the numbers in it and then the general formula for an arithmetic sequence that problem 6 is arithmetic, because there is a term here which would correspond to a first term. You have an n minus 1, which is right here, and it appears that we also have a number outside the parentheses that's being multiplied by n minus 1, which is similar to the general formula where the d is. So I predict that we're going to have a common difference of 1/3. So I'm going to take an educated guess right now and say that this is an arithmetic sequence, and let's figure out the first 4 terms of the sequence. Okay, so if you're trying to find A1, take the explicit formula up here and plug in 1 for n. So it'll be 5/3 plus 1 minus 1 times 1/3. So that's going to simplify to 5/3 plus 0, because 1 minus 1 becomes 0, and 0 times 1/3 would just be 0. So that tells me that my first term is 5/3. My second term, I need to plug in a 2 for n, so that's going to be 5/3 plus 2 minus 1 times 1/3. Okay, 5/3 plus 1 times 1/3. Well, 1 times 1/3 is simply 1/3, so now I have 5/3 plus 1/3, which is 6/3, and that's equivalent to 2. So here's my first term, A1. My second term is A2, and now we're going to go and find A3. So to find A3, I am going to take and plug in 3 for n. So now I have 5/3 plus 3 minus 1 times 1/3. This will simplify to 5/3 plus 2 times 1/3, or 5/3 plus 2/3, which gives you 7/3. I'm going to just leave that as an improper fraction. And then my last one that I need to figure out is A4. So now I have 5/3 plus 4 minus 1. So I'm simply substituting in the subscript for the letter n, because here's an n and there's an n. So you would replace that with 4. So then we have 5/3 plus 3 times, oops, I forgot my 1/3 here. 3 times 1/3. So 3 times 1/3 is 1. So then this will simplify to 5/3 plus 1, or 5/3 plus 3/3, which is 8/3. Okay, now let's just check that we have a common difference. All right, remember, for something to be arithmetic, we need to have a common difference. So I've preloaded my calculator here for us, just to save us a little time. But take note that on the first line, we have 8/3 minus 7/3. So what I'm doing right there is I'm taking A4 and I'm subtracting A3. And I got 1/3. Then in the next line on the calculator, I have 7/3 minus 2. And so what that's equivalent to doing is taking your third term, which is 7/3, and subtracting your second term, which is 2. So A3 minus A2 is also 1/3. And similarly, if I take A2, which is 2, and I subtract A1, which is 5/3, I will also get 1/3. So I know I have a common difference, so therefore my sequence must be arithmetic.